Okay.
This
Probably the best
important.
time.
Yes.
Best time.
All right. Recording.
So I have this picture of the future, and it's not even the future that we're alive in, because it's a long way ahead. And in this future, it's like we're all we're all connected, and we're all sort of sitting in a place where our soul is just coming through us, that we've got to the stage, and that there's a huge amount of humanity at that place. And where we are now is not at the beginning, but kind of still at the beginning. And it feels like there's this huge awakening happening with humanity, and that the work that I'm doing and that you're doing and that a lot of people are doing is part of that awakening up. And it's very different to what my values are talking about. But it is and it isn't, because in the awakening, of course, we're awakening the minds. So it's...
And intelligence wasn't just about academic intelligence. It was about emotional intelligence as well. So
yes. So, and it seems like the vision that I have is so far in the future. That to me is where the success statement is, that it's very difficult for me to bring it here into the present and to have it as something that I'm working with. It's like I've always got that in mind when I'm working, but it's not something I can touch right now.
Right. So what's the connection? So the ultimate vision is something beautiful and big, and you're also making it about much more than just you, which is fine, but then I want you to find the connection to you. Like, why is that important to you?
Yeah, and that's where I'm tripping.
How does even thinking about it make you feel?
It just it makes me... It's really weird. In a way, it makes me non-feel. It's like it makes me so expansive that the personal I has gone. It's in lodge work. We do a lot of work around around not being personal, about detachment, and about we do the work not expecting. We know what the results will be, but we do the work not expecting the results. And yet when I've got somebody that I'm working with, I'm always expecting that they will step up in some way, that something will happen in some way. So there's this kind of, but it doesn't feel like a conflict. It's like,
no.
Every time my Reiki master taught me, oh my goodness, over a quarter of a century ago, that everybody that I work with, I am to expect a change, and that there will always be a change. And so that's how I always go into a session, is expecting a change and knowing that it's going to happen, even if I can't see it, knowing that it's happened. And that's the core essence of why I do this. It's just like, because I expect that there will be more soul infusion, even if I can't see it. Yeah. That it will always be there. And so it's like I work at the highest level that I can, so that there's always the highest level of material available for that person. How do I put that in a success statement?
I love it. Oh no, we can totally do this. But what's coming to me is something around, working from a place of non-attachment while being excited about the little results along the way, or something like that. It's the dance between... So I'll let you get that down.
That's right. I'm just, yeah.
It's that dance about, it's about something that's bigger than you, that you're detached from on an ego level, but at the same time, it's about knowing that every little step along the way is a step in that direction. So it's the tangible becomes the intangible, or the little things become the big things, right? But from a that soul level, you know,
Yeah.
where that big shift that's about the whole collective consciousness shifting comes through as little tiny baby steps that are almost that could be almost be dismissed as inconsequential in the scheme of it.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling something like, you know, like having that excitement about the little steps, knowing that they are part of that big picture.
Because I do get excited about the little steps.
Yeah.
You know, when you showed me that, you know, your 4 little cupboards, and it's like, yeah, you got it. Yeah. I can see,
so it's,
you know, and even looking at you today, I can see the lightness that's coming.
Oh God, I feel so much better. Yeah. And like, it's almost like every little step, every little mundane step is a part of the huge awakening, and, you know, the excitement that comes from that. So, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And I have no doubt that you can put that into words.
Mm. And I think part of it is that the group purpose of Masonry is always in my mind, and I think it kind of outshouts everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 3 purposes of the Masonic order that I'm in is 1, the revelation is 1, the acknowledgement of soul presence, 2, the illumination of the mind, and 3, the evocation of the will. And that kind of always overshadows whenever I think, why am I doing this? And it's like, whoa, that's just because it's not personal, but it is personal if we're all one group. And it's like, whoa, okay, now let's write ourselves a success statement. So there's that sticky. I do like the beginning. Every little step is,
it's almost, well, words that come to mind are significant. It's a symptom of. It's a. Or celebrating every little step, because what I want to come out of this for you is that what you're striving towards isn't this intangible thing that's a million miles away that you can't connect to. It's something that you bring into your everyday, so that you find a way of living and breathing it and connecting to it here and now. And, you know, that then closes the gap vibrationally so beautifully. Celebrate. I'm just going to write some stuff out. Celebrating every little step as significant, and, you know, you can insert more adjectives with little, as significant towards the greater awakening, or something like that. How does that feel?
Mm. This is why I need copywriters.
But it's not copy for someone else. It's just what feels right for you.
I know. I do like celebrating every little step as significant towards a greater awakening, but it's not quite there.
Okay, celebrating every little step is important. I think we've got that bit down.
I think so, yeah.
And then, you know, what is it? Is it a symptom or a...
Hold on. What about every... There's something before the beginning of this, but then every little step towards the illumination of the mind, because that's so important to me, and that comes in with intelligence and the straight shooting.
I got the word facilitating in there, like celebrating and facilitating. Celebrating the facilitation of every little step towards...
of every little step towards the illumination. The other day I was saying the illumination of the mind, and a friend of mine said, is that really what you meant to say? I thought, oops, sorry, illumination of the mind. Celebrating every little step towards the illumination of the mind. Oh my God, I love that.
We had what do you think about facilitating?
Celebrating the facilitation of every little step
towards the illumination
of the mind.
And you can even make it the greater mind if you want to, or the collective mind or something. And I know it's a mouthful, but it doesn't matter.
I think I'll just leave the mind, because if I don't put an adjective before the mind, then it actually has all the different levels depending on where I'm working.
Good.
Yeah.
And that's, that's got the celebration, and that you're the facilitator, and that there are little steps, and it's totally cool to get excited about them and caught up in them. And then, and the ultimate thing is the illumination of the mind. So it bridges it.
It does.
Ta-da! And you can polish that up a little bit if you want to, or play with it. But I think that's pretty good effort.
To evoke the will through soul.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating the facilitation of every little step towards the illumination of the mind to evoke the will through soul. Oh, I like that. That's me.
And this is what you do, right?
It's exactly what I do.
So every single session, every interaction you have is part of your success. Like, you already are a success because you're doing it, you're living it, you're breathing it. And it just bridges the whole, there's no, because, when we first started talking about it, he said, but it's this thing that's all the way out there and I can't even connect to it. And this is what we want to do. We want to connect you to it.
Yeah, and that's exactly, that's beautiful. It actually pulls in the three great works, the three great aims of humanity. Oh no, I like that. I've got a picture of just sitting over the side on a notice board of two of my really, really close friends in masonry. One of them is in Scotland, and his eyes just lit up, and I thought, we got it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
love it. Good. Well, I'm excited about that. You can share that in the group when you've got looking pretty, and make a poster or whatever you want to do with it.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right. Let's just quickly touch on the last part we had there, which was the Be Do You Have exercise, which just gets people to start thinking about, sometimes we get really caught up in what we want to have in our lives. So it just makes you think, okay, what do I actually need to do to make that happen, and who do I need to be? So how did you go with that?
Jen and I had a really good conversation about this. Because she got a bit caught up in it, and I've been doing. I haven't done it for a while, but I do something called future journaling, where I actually write today, but it's in 365. And I started this for a client. I started doing it myself, and it worked really well. It's amazing where you go with it, and what I got was that where's my be do as is that I got the that. Basically, in the future, I'm just going to be me, but I'm a more enhanced me.
Of course.
Because every time, if I look back in 12 months' time, the me I am now, I could not have imagined me being. Because I've changed so much and expanded so much. But the core essence of who I am, my honesty, my loyalty, my compassion is still there. It's just that it's been ramped up. And so when I look at the me in the future, it's still going to be me. It's just going to be more ramped up. It'll be calmer, because I think as slowly as I become more revealed, I think I become calmer and steadier, because I do flicker around a little bit, but it's not play flickering. It's just looking for me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a calmer vibration there. But it's just beautiful. In terms of the doing things, there's going to be courses, because as it's interesting, I put running courses and membership programs and everything. I shelved that because I said, I followed Tasha's advice, and she's like, do what you do well first, then go and do something else. Don't keep flicking around. So I figured what I do really well, and I'm going to keep developing that and slowly get things in. And then there's something just beyond my eye, and it's like bringing everything that I do together into a course thing that I'm writing. and that will gradually come. So I'm actually quite happy for it to just sit on the edge of my eyes, and I know that in 12 months' time there'll be this beautiful course that's sitting there.
Nice.
You know, that will just take people through a whole lot of things, you know, that I'm really looking forward to. And I think that this book club, I've got some stuff to put out later on today for it, is going to be part of it, because I noticed that, what was it, that Julie put down, oh, you know, we could do the big leap and all things. It's like, no, she don't get it yet. These are going to be books that none of us have read that are going to actually challenge us to read. And the first one will probably be a small one. And I'm actually, while we're all ordering the book and deciding it, I'm going to ask people to put up a couple of challenging blogs, and we're all going to read those and actually get to know each other through our blogs, because then we will know more about how each other works. And then that's why we're waiting for our books to come in, and then we can start studying, because I figured that at least gets the group going.
Cool.
So that's
you
going to
haven't
be
put the
interesting.
first book up yet, have you?
No, I haven't, because we haven't decided on the first one yet.
Cool, good.
Yeah,
I was a bit AWOL over the weekend. I just tried to stay off Facebook as much as possible.
Look, it's Easter. We need to have time out.
Yeah. Oh, and I was just exhausted, so I needed it. Okay, so you're only ever going to be you. You're just going to be the more evolved version of you. So I wrote calmer and steadier.
Yeah, calmer and steadier, and just more expansive. Just my reach is going to be greater.
Cool.
Because that's that thing about, you know, there's a stage in your life where you work one-on-one, and there's a stage in your life where you start to get bigger, because one-on-one is not enough to change the world. And so I can see me in 12 months' time still doing the one-on-ones, that there are also being some ways of actually meeting bigger groups, getting to bigger places, and running the challenges as part of the development of that.
Nice.
So, yes.
Excellent. Beautiful. Well, I'm very excited about all of that. How do you feel about all of that?
I love it, and I love my success statement.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so one final thing I'd like to do before we wrap it up is, having looked at and said all of the above, what would be your theme then for this year?
Well, it's interesting, because my word for this year is wealth, because I wanted to examine wealth in all of its different ways. And I think that that's still really relevant, because there's knowledge wealth, there's spiritual wealth, there's growth wealth, there's I'm finding all these different wealths, and I really, really like it.
I just got calm and steady expansion of wealth.
Oh, I like that one. I'm writing that one down,
because that's a nice theme.
Yes.
And if you sort of, you know, keep that in mind, like that's what your year is about. It's about calm, steady expansion of wealth.
Yeah.
And then whenever you make plans, or, you know, when you're planning how to run book club and all those other things, you can go, right, does that fit what this year is all about? And does it fit my values? And is it part of my success statement, my bigger picture? And it's just, you know, like you kind of set yourself up that everything you do is part of the plan. And so you can't go wrong.
I love it. Thank you.
I love it too.
Thank you. I'm so glad we had this session.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. While the group is this size, I can totally do single sessions, and I'd like to always be able to do it. I think it's important to just do a little stock take. So
I think so, and it's different, because it's like what we're doing is so personalised in some ways, and it's really, you know, it's like, you can take up time and try and work it out, but sometimes you just need that 20 minutes one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you've all worked through the module. Well, I think pretty much everybody has. I don't think anyone's been left behind. Except maybe Angela, who's really having trouble because she works shifts so much, but she was so keen to do the program. And she was catching up on the weekend. She messaged me.
Yeah, and remember that's that resistance you've got to go through anyway.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know if she sees it, but, you know, when we bring someone new into masonry, because we set on a new vibration, a higher vibration, we expect their life to turn to shit, and we expect them to run out of time. We expect them to go into tears at some stage, and we just sit there on the sidelines and know that at some stage we'll just step in and give them a hug and say, keep going.
Yeah.
And it's that new vibration. And sometimes, this is a new vibration being set in. And so there's always going to be someone who's going to have a crisis.
Yeah. I call that perturbation. It's just a mismatch of vibration.
I like that, perturbation.
Yeah. And it's got to balance out and find its new normal.
Well, she's part of the group, and the group's travelling, so she'll go with the group. So that's just right. What happens. Dominique's having it at the moment too in her Goddess Voice Academy. There's a couple that are struggling, but you can see that they're definitely where they're meant to be. So
there are no accidents.
No accidents.
All right, my beautiful.
Thank you, gorgeous.
Upload this video for you and send you the link in case you want to watch any bits of it back and just take some more notes. But I'm very pleased with all of that. That's really awesome. I
will see you on Friday, and I'm glad you had a good call with me last week.
I had a great call.
Yeah, I know, that's excellent. Good.
All right.
Good. Tash Corbin's been doing this journaling in 100 Days of Colour. It's been excellent.
Oh, different to what she usually does?
Very, very different. She's picked it up, I think, from Carol. And what she's doing is that we've got she gives us a topic and we've got 2 minutes to write on it. And then the next one, and 2 minutes to write on. And it's bringing up all the resistance. It's working. Good. It's a really great technique.
That's good. I'm really happy to hear that, because 100 Days of Colour is really, when I tell people about it, I go, it's the program that's going to bring up all your shit, and so it's good to hear that she's got a bit more support in there for people. Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, I hit my 100 days. I know you've got another call, so I'm going to be quick. I hit my 100 days of colour back on day 76 on the 17th of March.
I was going to say 77 or something. I remember. I was doing crazy happy dance for you.
I know. When does that 7-day money make, or whatever it is, start again? Is that today or
no? On the 6th. I've got to promote it yet. Oh, it is on the 16th, so in 2 weeks.
Cool. Because I think we're doing Fast Money Challenge next week.
Oh,
so
good.
That would be really nice, and then I can come in because I want to do that again because I got so much out of it.
Cool. Oh, that's good to know that I'm not clashing with that. That would have been awkward.
Oh, no, it's 100 Days of Colour finishes, I think it finishes next weekend.
Cool.
Something like that, yeah, or this weekend or something. So,
nice.
It'll next weekend, I think. So you'll actually follow straight after.
Perfect.
Or something like that. So that works out really well. Oh, that's okay. You don't clash with 100 Days of Colour. 100 Days of Colour just fits in with everybody else.
Yeah. Look. It always works out.
Yeah.
I don't tend to worry about it. I launched this program over Christmas when Marie Forleo and everybody else was launching. I'm like, oh well, the right people will end up in the right programs.
Well, it's also the fact of we just decide where we want to spend our money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what's important for you at the time.
Yeah. Everyone's going to choose the one that fits for them. So
all right, my darling.
All right, gorgeous. Lovely to see you.
Have a great day catching up with everybody.
I will. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know. You love doing this.
I do. I could do this all day.
You will be.
I know. I am. All right. Well,
all right.
Love you lots.
Bye. Love you. Bye.